Take one. Hey Lions, my name is Marshall Street, and today we are recording live. What?
I was talking to myself.
Oh. And today we are recording live from my studio, and we have.
Your hair's it's good.
Oh, thank you,
good.
thank you, man. And we have Ralph with us once again.
Pixar.
Whoa! And Ralph and I saw Finding Dory. If you follow me on Snapchat, Marshall Street, then you would have seen that we went to go see Finding Dory, and we said we were posting a video on it, and this is the video. So, Finding Dory.
Yes.
What was your hype for this movie? Because, at least for me, growing up, you know, I watched Finding Nemo over and over and over again just because it's a You're trying to cuddle closer to me. Because, you know, it's just a Disney movie. And, you know, obviously growing up, you watch a lot of Disney movies.
Yeah, growing up, everyone watches Pixar.
Everyone
Disney,
watches
yeah.
Pixar, Disney. I was more of the Disney princesses. That was just
So
me.
you were Cinderella, you know, the Princess and the Frog. So,
Not the Princess and the Frog, but Cinderella and everything else. That's why I turned out to be gay. So.
that makes sense now.
Oh! Wow, big shocker on that one. Marshall's gay.
Not really.
So, yeah, growing up, you know, this was just something, like, Finding Nemo was something that was on repeat when you were growing up. And you never thought that they would ever make a sequel to this, at least when you were a kid. You didn't think about stuff like that. And then, just once you got older, and looking back at everything, I never saw this coming. What about you? What were your, you know, what was the hype that you had? Because this movie had a lot of hype around it, and a lot of older people like us who grew up watching this and who were kids when this came out.
Oh yeah, we loved this stuff when we were younger, and I still do.
I definitely can go down. I can definitely go and watch a Disney movie right now, and it doesn't matter how old I am or how old I will get. I will always love Disney movies, especially High School Musical, since, you know.
No, those are bad.
I love High School Musical. That's just me. But can I see what I put on here? Positives for the movie. This movie definitely had a lot of positives.
Yeah.
What were your positives for the movie?
I thought the animation was very good, and it looked beautiful. I think
did.
you can agree that it looks. Thank you. It didn't look. It looked very similar to the first one in terms of the style.
Yes.
It didn't look a lot different, which is good because it has to. It's a sequel. It has to.
It needs to look the same.
Continuation, you know. But yeah, and I love the voice actors who they got for the old characters as well, but then the new characters too, like.
Oh yeah, the voice actors.
Hank was the octopus or.
Hank the Octopus,
Yeah.
yeah, we really should have the characters on.
He was a really good character, I thought.
Yeah.
He was funny, he was charming. I cared about him, so yeah, I liked Hank. And obviously Nemo, Marvin, or Marlin? Is it
Marlin.
Marlin?
It's Marlin.
Marlin, and then obviously Dory, which is, you know, so yeah.
So, my positives for the movie was really everything. I remember sitting in the movie theater and just thinking, wow, I feel like I feel like a little girl.
You got transported back to your childhood.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You didn't understand my Deadpool reference there?
I did.
Good.
I'm being professional.
Oh. Yeah, I just was transported back to when I was a little kid, sitting in front of the TV on the VHS tapes on, you know, the horrible small TVs, and just watching this, watching Finding Nemo, and I was able to relive it again. And in these characters, you know, I really cared about these characters. There was a point when, spoilers like usual. There was a point where I saw Dory and her parents meet each other, and, you know, maybe you knew this, maybe you didn't. When I was up here, I was just tearing up, and tears were all in my eyes raining down my face, and I was just so touched by everything, and I was so happy, and then I was sad, and then I was excited, and tears were just flowing down my face while this was going on. What else? What else did it make me think of?
I mean, Pixar is really good with manipulating you and, you know, having you feel these emotions. And
exactly.
You know, they're really good with nostalgia. As, you know, Monsters University, Cars 2, but we don't talk about that because,
No.
you know, it was pretty bad. But yeah, Toy Story 2, 3, they do sequels really well. They bring back
they
bring back nostalgia, and they make you feel young again. So
yeah, I was able to watch these videos, watch this movie, and I just felt young again, like a little kid, and just the nostalgia was so much for me. And when what's his name, the turtle, Bruce, when Bruce came on the screen, you heard me, I was like, yes, because I was so excited to see one of the original characters in there, and just all of the emotions that I had. Like, I was thinking, there was even a couple of scenes where I was thinking about my girlfriend, and I was, you know, I was thinking about her, and then I was also thinking about all of the, just all of the emotions built up and all the hype for this movie. And as we go into negatives, I really don't even think that I have any negative, well, there are a couple, but before I get into mine, I've been talking too much. What are your negatives?
I mean, coming into the film, I didn't, like, obviously I'll be excited for it, but
Yeah.
I didn't think the trailers were very good. They just kind of like, they didn't show much.
They didn't. The trailers weren't good.
And it
Pixar
didn't look charming like all Pixar's films are.
Yeah.
Except Brave and Cars 2. Have you seen Brave?
Yeah, I saw Brave.
Yeah. You didn't like it? I didn't like it.
I don't remember too much. We'll have to go back and watch that movie together.
Or not. But yeah, it just, you know, I just don't feel... I like the movie, but I just didn't have the same reaction to the first one. Which is, you know,
Yeah,
it's a classic.
Yeah, I definitely had more of a reaction just because I was, you know, younger then, and when you're younger, everything
It's easier.
is so much,
It's easier to trick you.
exactly,
Yeah, it is.
and everything is so much bigger and better when you're younger. And as you get older, you've seen so much more, so your expectations, go way up. And there were a couple negatives that I did have. And those negatives were just a couple of the scenes were just like, no, that would never happen, or how did this happen? Some of the things were just too convenient, but it's a movie, and you know, all movies have that in them. And some of the things just I really didn't like.
You have to forgive it for some things, you know.
Yeah, but there was not that much of it. I could name just a couple of the times where that happened while I was sitting in the theater. I was like, you know, this, you know, could have been written better or something like that. But it was only like a couple of things. And for a long movie like it was, you know, when you can only name a couple of things that were bad with it, that's really, really good.
Definitely.
Can I see again?
Go ahead.
Okay, so actor performances. They definitely had a pretty crazy list of actors that were on there. Not as big as some of the movies that we've seen recently, but still had some really big names on there.
Definitely.
Ellen was there. Jay from Modern Family was there. The father from Modern
I don't
Family.
watch Modern Family, so I can't relate with you.
He was there. And then they had all the original voice actors too. Like at the very end where they showed the extra clip, those were all the same guys.
I mean, that's true. But, you know, that could be considered a spoiler alert.
It could be considered a spoiler alert, so close your ears. It's too late now. But
Whatever.
you're watching. If you know, this probably isn't your first time seeing one of our videos together. It's just spoilers throughout the entire thing, but I'm gonna cut it back a little bit. But actor performances, what did you think?
I mean, Pixar always,
They always come through.
nail voice actors. And I think casting directors, I think they're really undervalued because they have to cast these voices for the characters, and that's not easy to do. I get it. The actors, they give the performance, but they got put there for a reason by someone else. So I definitely think, good job to the casting director for this movie.
And a lot of times, the casting director doesn't do perfect, and they can be criticized for just one character who was bad.
Right, but
or
Pixar always nails it.
Pixar always does perfect when it comes to stuff like that. We had Ellen played Dory the first time, right?
Yes.
And she was able to come back with the character, and the character was, she was different, but she was still the same at the same time.
Exactly. You want the character to grow, and you want different things to happen. You don't want them to be the same,
And in a sequel like this, or just in a sequel in general, you need the character to be the same but different. And she was able to do that, and so was everyone else. Everyone who came back to do their roles once more, they were able to do the same thing, new but different at the same time. And everyone played their characters just like they did before, and it was amazing the first time, and it was amazing this time.
Yeah, it was.
So the animation, I know you already covered the animation
It's beautiful,
before.
beautiful, stunning. I think.
We have the little picture up there, which shows just a little bit, and that doesn't nearly do it justice whatsoever. Don't watch the previews for it, the trailers, because the trailers
they're not very good.
They're not good at all. I remember just watching them, and it was like.
But I think Disney knows that they don't have to make great trailers for this property because everyone's going to see it already anyway.
Yeah, everybody's going to see it. You got all the people our age seeing it. You got all the
They have such a big
kids.
audience. They have the 90s kids and 80s kids.
They got everyone. Who's not going to watch this movie?
Yeah.
Who's not going to watch this movie? So they honestly didn't even need to do a good job with the trailer. Honestly, they probably didn't even need to market it or anything like that. People are still going to see it. And,
I mean, they have to market it, but not to the extent of the other films that they put out, like The Jungle Book or Civil War, whatever.
Yeah, definitely. The animation was just so beautiful, and being able to sit there and watch it, it was like I was, in the ocean, seeing everything, and still it's a cartoon, but it looks so real.
Yeah.
The drop off, they kept, that was like the those were the animators patting themselves on the back, because the drop off was so beautiful. And there's a couple of times where Marlon, and one time Marlon says this and one time Dory says this, they're just like, can we enjoy the view? Just, can we just enjoy the view for once? And I feel like those are the animators just patting themselves on the back.
Yeah, Disney it looks so real. It looks so genuinely, like, okay, did you see the movie The Good Dinosaur? It was their last Pixar film.
No, I didn't see it. I didn't
so
want to see it.
That film looked photolistically real. Like, the backgrounds and the surroundings, the environments, it looked real. It looked like an actual, like, set, like a location. But the dinosaurs in the movie looked kind of cartoony, so it kind of took away from it. Like, it didn't mix well, and I think this film had that problem sometimes, but honestly, most of the time it was perfect.
Yeah, I didn't see The Good Dinosaur. Would it be worth a watch?
It was. I think it's worth one watch to rent it, but it's not worth buying Blu-ray. But yeah, it's worth one watch. Yeah.
Okay. What about the second movie compared to the first one? Now remember, if you say the second one is better, we're going to get a lot of hate.
The first one is better. It's a lot better.
Yeah, definitely the first one is better. The second one is still amazing and
still enjoyable.
Its own right.
Yeah.
It's
I think we disagree that you loved it, I liked it, but we'll get to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We always disagree on movies. Hey Ben, we're disagreeing again. I love you, bro. Whoa.
I
Middle
love
finger.
you. I love you.
So, second compared to the first one. Tell me about that.
I think the first one is a masterpiece, but
Definitely.
I enjoyed this film for what it was. Some of the plot points were similar to the first one,
They were.
and you're gonna run into that problem.
That was
always.
That was one of the things.
You're
I
gonna
was
run
thinking.
into that, but honestly, it didn't take away from the film that much to me.
No.
But honestly, I still enjoyed this movie a lot. I'll definitely see it again.
Yeah, definitely. The second one compared to the first, I really loved the first one. Like I said, growing up watching it and being able to relive my childhood through this movie was so great. And the first one was obviously better. The story was better, and just all around, it was so much better. And really, like the part that really matters, the story. The story
It was solid. It was solid.
was
Yeah.
much better written, but that's not to take away from this movie. Definitely go see this movie. So your score on this?
I'm gonna give it a 3.85 out of 5. So, solid movie. I liked it. Yeah.
Honestly, for this movie, you know, I only give ratings out of 10. He gives them out of 5.
It's the same thing. You just, you know, it's the same thing.
If you do the math, if you're smart enough, unlike me, Ben is probably able to. Both our friends, Ben, are
I can
probably
do it
able
too.
to. You know what? Whatever. I'm the only dumbass here.
Okay. You said it, not me.
Quote me on that, Michael. Let's see. I would have to give it a... Yeah, I'm going to give it a 9.7. I really, really enjoyed this movie. Either a 9.5 or a 9.7. I'm not too sure on it, but let's give it a 9.6. Let's give it a
Wow.
9.6.
That's high.
I really, really like this movie, and you will too when you go see it, unless you're Ralph, because Ralph and I just completely differ on our taste in movies.
We like The Conjuring too. We
Yeah, we both like The
we both
Conjuring
that.
too. There are some movies where we do like. Why do I look like a freaking egghead? My hair looks like an egg, and so does my head. We like some movies that are similar, but other movies either I hate and you love them, or some movies I love and you absolutely hate. Like I showed him the Phantom of the Opera today, which we're going to be doing a video on that. And he fell asleep throughout the entire movie.
And
this man was asleep.
If you know me, I never fall asleep in movies.
He doesn't fall
I don't
asleep
do- I
in
don't
this
do
movie.
that.
This
I
man
did
was
today.
super tired, and he fell asleep in the movie. He saw, for all my Broadway lovers out there, Les Miserables was such a great movie, besides the fact that Hugh Jackman and Russell Crowe can't sing whatsoever. Besides that, the movie was stupendous, and he didn't like it that much. So
I mean, I can definitely appreciate it.
Yeah.
But it's just not my kind of film, so I'm not the one to ask about that.
yeah.
It was made well. I can appreciate that. So as an art, it was very good.
Oh yeah, definitely. Maybe we can cover that video another time. But your final thoughts on this movie?
I mean, again, Pixar, another check off the box of sequels that they did well. I think Cars 2 is really the only sequel that universally most people don't like.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, Toy Story 2,
Toy Story 3.
Monsters University.
I still haven't
Come
seen
on.
that movie yet.
You haven't. You should. I'll give it to you. You can borrow it.
All right, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
But yeah, I mean, again, it's definitely worth checking out. So yeah.
And if you're still here throughout the entire video,
Have confidence in yourself. Have confidence. You should. You should.
it's just hard. Okay, so final thoughts for me. I definitely love this movie. Like I said, I gave it a 9.6, which, if you know me, I don't really give that high ratings to movies. I usually say 10 out of 10 for just my favorite movies.
For me, that's Jurassic Park.
Definitely.
That's a solid place in my heart. Like literally.
Definitely, we can both agree that that is a 10 out of 10 movie.
Thank you.
So, me personally, I don't really give that high of ratings to movies, just because I guess I'm a hard critic, maybe, I don't know. But this one I definitely was able to give a high rating to. Go out, see this movie. It's definitely worth the price of the ticket. And definitely a movie that you can watch again and again.
Yeah. And I think if you translate my score, it would be a 7.7 out of 10. So still, not as good as yours, but still...
It's still high up there.
Yeah.
So this movie's definitely going to be doing great. Definitely going to be a box office killer.
If you don't know, it made 136 million opening weekend, biggest animation opening weekend of all time in the North America box office.
Wow, I did not know that.
136.
136. Yeah. And it's only going to get higher from that. Pixar, Walt Disney sitting in his grave like, I just got a $200 billion company, so, it's all good. Where can they find you at, Ralph, on social media?
Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, at Ralph Lenardic. Check me out.
You can find me on Instagram, Snapchat. That's it. At Marshall Street. Anything else you'd like to say?
No, just see this movie.
See this movie, definitely.
Support good films.
Support good films. I couldn't have said it any better. Okay, so as always, make sure to punch that like, hit that subscribe, leave a comment, tell us what you thought about this movie when you go out to see it. What did you think about this review? What do you think about Disney, Pixar? Tell us how it made you feel as while watching this movie, all the nostalgia, if you're old enough to remember Finding Nemo. What did you think about the first movie? Or if you just want to say hi, because, you have nothing better to do. Until we meet again.